Let's get into it. Episode 718, Sold Not For Sale. We got Theo Von, Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson is getting asked some questions that he has not answered, really. And he actually gets into it. So Theo Von is asking him about, getting fired from Fox, what that's been like. But then he goes into what's next. And Tucker Carlson actually gives an answer. And I found an article that's going to give us a little more insight into what Tucker's planning. But this is serious. He's actually doing something. This is not a joke. They're raising money. They have a very anti-woke backer, as he calls himself. So, very interesting stuff. Let's get into the clip right away. Visit IamCoachColin.com, 10% off. I am Coach Colin. That's the discount code. IamCoachColin.com, 10% off the whole store. Let's go.
What are you doing now that's different with, you got on the Twitter, right? And so I know that. And congratulations.
Thank you.
I think it's interesting. It's brave for people to get out of the system. A lot of people.
Well, I was expelled from the system, but
oh yeah. Well, you got laid off from everywhere.
I have. Yeah.
Was it cutbacks or why did you take
cutbacks? No, it's not good. I love it. I'm going to use that though. Yeah. There's downsizing, just downsizing. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm being retrained. I'm learning to code actually. They closed the plant. I totally get it. I was on third shift and the demand was in decline. I am going to use that though next time.
No,
why were you fired? Downsizing.
But you got out and you moved to
I was thrown out.
You were thrown out.
And Elon called me the day that my show was canceled. And I was grateful that he did. And
he called you, huh? Had you spoken to him before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had and I really liked him. And I'm not a technology person, to put it mildly, like at all.
Yeah.
Very anti-technology. Yep. Like almost on a crazy sort of Ted Kaczynski way, which is I'm not defending it.
So who handles tech for you then, kind of?
The tech people, they live in Bangalore. I don't know their names. Just kidding. No, we have really super smart people.
The Bangalorians? Isn't that a movie?
The Bangalorians. No, actually
Mandalorian.
Most of our staff from Fox came. And Elon's, we don't work for Elon. I'm a Twitter user like everybody else, but all he said was, I'm going to keep the platform open, and people with differing views, whether I agree with them or not, are welcome on the platform. And that's the guarantee that I wanted and needed. And so I've been super grateful. That's all I've ever wanted, by the way, is I have made some money, but I never got crazy rich, but I never wanted to. That wasn't my goal at all. I guess I would like to be richer. I guess. I don't know what I would do with it exactly. I just don't want to be bossed around. And by the way, I don't mind taking advice or wise counsel from people I respect, or I'm often wrong. I'm not saying that I'm always right. I'm definitely not. But being ordered to do things suggests a level of disrespect. I just can't deal with it at all.
And even just about like work and stuff, were you always like that from just like with work, like you want to be your own voice?
Of course, yeah.
That's where you end up, right?
Keep getting fired.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not that I don't want to fight about it. I'm not interested in being like, you can't tell me what to do or, give a lot of lectures about it. But I especially in my business, you have a similar job where, you're paid to say what you think.
Yeah.
Right. And so you want to do your job, which is to say what you think.
Was there even a time when you were working at different news places where you were like, gosh, this still isn't my own voice?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
It was always my own voice, but you could feel the parameters. I started in my 20s, mid-20s. I'm now in my mid-50s, so it's been a long time.
Well, you look great for 50s, man.
I'm 54.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I know. Isn't that shocking? It's shocking. I don't feel it. But anyway, when you're much younger and you've got little kids, I always had a lot of kids just reproduce like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Which I recommend strongly to you. You feel vulnerable and you're not allowed to say certain things. And I do think I was never censored, but I self-censored for sure. The war in Iraq breaks out and you're like, well, maybe it's a good idea. But it's not a good idea. And it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you allow yourself to be convinced because it's super unpopular to say it's not a good idea, but it clearly wasn't. War with Iran, not a good idea. I can say that now.
Why do we go along with that consensus a lot of times? What is it that makes us afraid to speak out?
Well, people have a deep need to be part of a group. It's a human need right up there with sex and food and shelter. It's like people want to be connected to other people, which I understand, and I want that too. but that can override reason and common sense very often. So if you're, and a million studies been done on this, but if you're in a group, I mean, everyone experiences, a group full of people and everyone's like, I hate chocolate ice cream. And you're like, I kind of like chocolate ice cream, but you don't say anything about it because people that like chocolate ice cream suck. And you're like, yeah, they kind of suck. It's a human thing. And so people go along with stuff that their gut tells them isn't the right thing, but you should never ignore your gut, your instincts, which you inherited from your ancestors, which are encoded in your DNA and which are almost never wrong. If you're with someone and you feel like, God, that person's lying, that person's lying.
Right.
You may not know what about, you don't have x-ray vision into someone's soul, but you can smell the deception on someone. I know that you can. We all can.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you feel danger, you're like, wow, this person poses a threat to me. You're right. You don't know the details. You don't need to know the details. Get away.
Yeah.
And if something's really stupid, like, let's go have a war with Iran. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's, maybe because of my age and my job, I have a moral obligation to say, I think that's really unwise.
You don't want to go to war with Iran.
No, because I'm not insane.
Yeah. So what is your plans now? Like you're on Twitter, you're in a free space.
Yes.
As much as we have in today's society, you're in a free space for free speech. What else is there like? We
have some plans. I mean, some of them, if I'm being honest, include territorial expansion. We're going to invade Canada.
Oh, dude, they'll just knock.
No, pillow fight. You can take them in a second. No, I just want to continue doing what we're doing, which is just, say things that can't be said in other places, bring facts that maybe people haven't heard with a spirit of humility. I'm having spent my whole life in Washington, most of it, 35 years.
Wow.
I can't believe I did
But you
that.
know what? I think a lot of people were glad that somebody was there. It's nice to see people that get out of a space because then when you're not as compromised, when people don't seem as compromised.
It's totally right. No, it's totally true. But I didn't realize just how controlled my brain was by it when I was in it, because you don't, right? But anyway, I've been around a lot of people who set out to, like, with these grandiose plans. I'm going to change the world. Those people invariably, 100% of the time, make the world worse. So, approach every task with the knowledge, I have no real idea what I'm doing. I don't know the long-term consequences of this. I probably can't fix every problem. I'm just going to try my best with humility, to make things slightly better. That's my goal, make things slightly better. But anyone who tells you, if we pass this legislation, we're going to fix everything. We're going to fix healthcare forever, said Barack Obama in 2010. As soon as he said that, I was like, I don't even know much about healthcare. I'm hardly an expert. But I was like, the second you tell me you're going to fix something as complicated as, 1/5 of the entire U.S. economy in one piece of legislation, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because you're lying, actually. Because that's impossible. And it turned out they made it worse. Of course. So I don't want to do that. Not that I even have the power to, but I just want to, I just want to tell the truth and do it without being told not to. And I think that we can.
And Tucker on X is your show.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And do you guys would you ever do a show with a partner, you think, or anything like that? I'm not going to pitch you an idea. I'm just, because that's usually the predecessor question of like somebody trying to pitch you an idea. But do you think about that sort of thing? Like, do you have?
Well, I have a million people I would like to work with. I like to interview people actually, and a lot, and I really try to be quiet while I interview them because I'm a compulsive talker, obviously. But I'd like a respite from that where I can just listen. So we will have a lot of people on, and we'll have a lot of recurring guests. But yeah, we're making a bunch of documentaries and doing stuff like that.
So like a production company kind of more? Like, are you expanding in that sense?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can't wait. I cannot wait for Tucker to do this, making documentaries. As you guys know, or maybe you don't know, Tucker made a documentary called Oh Canada. That whole documentary is now under the ownership of Fox, and Fox isn't letting it out. If Tucker redoes that, he did actually bring up territorial expansion, going into Canada. That could actually be a thing, even though he said it a little jokingly. There's so much that Tucker is able to do, and I can't wait to see what he actually does. Here's the other information that I got. Tucker Carlson raises $15 million for new media venture with backing from financier Omed Malik. Omed Malik is a anti-woke, you'll see it right here, anti-woke backer right there. He calls himself an anti-woke backer. He pretty much established a company. There it is too. It's called 1789 Capital, and he's trying to bankroll conservative-friendly companies that have poured money into Tucker Carlson. So basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to fill the void of conservative voices. There doesn't seem to be a lot. Daily Wire is one, but could you name a bunch of others that are actually conservative? And Daily Wire is even questionable at times. So it's incredible. That's just first round. This is actually the gentleman here. His name is Malik, or Omed Malik. So pretty cool that that's happening. Little bit here, though, they actually opened up a little bit more about what's going on with the company. Former Fox host and his business partner, Neil Patel, will launch a video company that is subscription-based, but also offers free snippets of clips on X, formerly known as Twitter. So this is going to be amazing, in my opinion. I think this is going to be great. We've already seen Tucker do absolutely amazing things when it comes to X. So now all of a sudden he has a subscription-based thing. He's charging for documentaries. You get to see a little clip, then you get to see the whole thing. You know, we were kind of seeing that with the Daily Wire, but Daily Wire doesn't have anybody like Tucker. They just don't. Ben Shapiro's not. He doesn't have the charisma. He's not the regular guy. When you hear Tucker Carlson talking with Theo right now, you're like, oh, they could just do a buddy podcast. Like, this is amazing. And Tucker's just like that. You don't have anybody like that in the Daily Wire. So Tucker actually doing something like this. And then here it says Tucker and Patel's business would have its own website and app, and they would eventually add on shows from different hosts. I hope to be one of those hosts. I hope they don't need people to wear suits. I will 100% sign a contract. 100%. I would jump on that in a heartbeat. Woo, man. The whole vision is to create the next media company that has the purpose. Let me make sure you guys can see this here. That is a purpose-built company for the 2020s and 2030s in a way that Fox and Rupert Murdoch built a cable news business that was really purpose-built for its time and place. 1789 co-founder Chris Buskirk says. So there's actually stuff happening. This is actually rolling. This is not just something, you know, I brought this up months ago, talking about, oh, is Tucker going to be like the Daily Wire, this, that. I was speculating, but it's actually coming to fruition. He's actually moving forward with this. So this should be absolutely amazing. You guys need to check it out 100%. Keep your ear to X. If you're not on X, you just hit that subscribe button and I will bring you all the information as it comes to me. And other than that, like the video, 10% off of the whole store, IamCoachColin.com. Put in the discount code IamCoachColin, all capital letters, all one word, one L in the name, Colin. Other than that, I am out.